Out and down.
Yeah, I like to be precise. Look. Commissioners Court will come into order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Williams, will you please lead us into prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have gathered, given us. Father, thank you for having your son raised from the dead. Father, be with us as we do the business of Mills County. Bless this county with some rain. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, good morning, everybody. It's April the 10th, 9:01. We've got a quorum. Everyone's here. And first thing we'll do, review and act on minutes of March 27th and April the 6th.
I did not find any corrections, additions, or deletions, so I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of March the 27th and April the 6th.
Okay.
as presented.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the minutes of the 27th and 6th of April. Second's been made by Commissioner Wright. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes from the 27th and April the 6th, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Ayes have it. Number 3, we have two people speak. One's going to speak later when we do the EMS discussion. Daniel Seals, good morning. If you want to come up to the microphone, you're going to come visit with us. I don't know what topic you're speaking about, but you're welcome to come talk. We'll give you up to 5 minutes. Good morning, Daniel. How are you today?
I don't have any discussions on the agendas having today, but I just had a question. So I live right across the Mills County border with Brown County. I live right on this side. And over the past few years, I know they're putting in a lot of wind turbines. And I was just wondering what is your, do you think those are good for the county or bad?
Say that again.
Do you think that they are good for the county or bad? The wind turbines, we've been putting a lot of them recently. Do you think that they're good for the county? or
Well,
bad?
this is what you basically come out here and speak to the commissioner's court. We don't really respond back. I mean, we can call me in my office sometime and everything, got any questions about that. You can state what you want to state and we'll look at it later or something.
So the way the law, what you're saying is where law is, if it's not written on the agenda, we can't.
Yeah, we've got to follow the agenda.
But we can take your comments and correct, so.
I apologize.
Yeah, well, that's fine. You can state what your, whatever your comments are.
That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Then.
All right. Well, Daniel, thank you for coming. Okay, now as discussed, there's another lady's going to speak when we get to the EMS section. So consent agenda will be next. As you can see, every department is extremely busy as always. Lots of reports, lots of activity all throughout our Mills County offices. So commissioners, please review all those. Have any questions or comments?
I actually have a comment
Yes.
on the district and county reports. As you know, we have switched to Odyssey. And so the reports are in your packet, but we are having some difficulties reconciling the reports. We're not short money, it is distribution. The treasurer and I have been working on it. Right now, things are kind of messy because we still have some old business that's in ODS, but we have new business that's going into Odyssey. And so getting the reconciliation is just kind of messy, but we're working on
Was that negative number that was showing there?
it. No, couldn't be towards the negative number. There's a question on a negative number. I can say, I didn't know how much.
Yeah.
Negative number, that's the JP's office and her 500 feet are supposed to be feeding that special fund. and it just has been in the negative.
Okay,
What
Okay.
you will see in on my treasurer's report is no activity in the special funds that are related. to
Okay.
the clerk.
okay,
Yeah, because you can without reconciling the reports. And with the new system, we're having some difficulty getting the reports to reconcile.
okay, okay.
Talking about that, I mean, since you're mentioning that, are all these accounts getting reconciled?
What?
Since you brought up reconciliation, all of the accounts being reconciled that are presented with us today. And since
That
you
has
got
to
that-
be reconciled before I can present the report.
Okay.
And the JP's thing is not an independent bank account, it's a special fund built within the combined fund.
Motor vehicles too.
They have two of their own checkbook. I don't know anything about those reconciliations from that. Because she didn't do that.
Only one I find interesting is the consent agenda. And I guess this is on the law enforcement side. Sounds like the damper wasn't put in correct. Sadako must have really screwed up some things. Because that damper is not working, the grinder is not working correctly. The plumbing was broke.
Yeah, and the damper just got hit and wasn't installed.
Yeah, that's
But,
what his report says.
company out of Lubbock, and actually, out of their pocket, they're paying for it. It's not installed.
So they're the ones that originally hooked it up.
Correct.
Gotcha. I was kind of curious why Amarillo, Texas was involved in that.
That's right.
And Guy Burns isn't in here right now, he'll be in later, but Guy's done a tremendous job last 2 weeks, all the maintenance repairs everywhere.
Yeah, and then the grinder too, but it's not necessarily, I think it's more of a, it's gonna be a maintenance. Versus the replacement.
Well, he's got on here too much water from the buildings going in it and making it work more, so it's, they
Yeah,
burned it out, so.
when we do the landscaping, I think we're gonna adjust it, Right, won't get in there. At one.
It's just amazing that the law enforcement center used to be 1 or 2 lines and now it's 615 of them, so it's all. And he's got, and it's showing that guys are putting in extra hours down there. To do that, Judge, I don't know.
Yes.
I guess you approve of his work and all that, so.
Yes. He's been plenty
Well,
busy.
actually, all did it in one place.
And then the accounts payables are built in within the consent agenda, which it's normally not, so.
Yeah.
Before you
Was
move to approve it, if anybody has any questions about those.
So do we need to approve them separately?
So the accounts payable usually is not in them, that is line by
Right.
itself.
Well, then. I've got Bonnet Plumbing again at the jail. Is that from the original mess up or is that a different? Is that from the original plumbing or is that a different situation?
I think it's a different situation, but that's a question for.
That is the drain salad porch.
Okay, so it's not part of the
No.
other, okay. The reason I was asking is because they reimbursed us, so that's why.
Yeah, no, that,
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, your deal signing, does this need to be on here for approval if it's not reconciled?
Not that I would think it, I just wanted to be transparent and let you know that with the changing over of the system, we're still operating at a food. So she's been able to fund those other accounts yet. If you want to go there first, you can go there first. That's up to the board.
But I mean, it's just on the consent agenda, isn't
We report monthly
Yeah.
on the consent agenda.
So basically, you're approving of her report that she's given us. We're not approving of the funds. But the accounts payable is approving of the funds. So to me, that might, we may need to do a separate.
Pull the accounts payable out and do it separately. I think we can do that after we do the consent agenda, correct?
It should always be on its own set.
Okay,
On the- should never be-
okay.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda, pulling out the accounts payable. Agenda item D.
Okay. Motion's been made to approve the consent agenda with exception of accounts payable number D to be pulled out separately. I'll second that motion. Any other discussion, commissioners? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. And Commissioner Williams, you'll go ahead with do another motion.
Make a
on the accounts
motion
payable.
that we approve the accounts payable as presented.
Okay, a motion's been made to approve the accounts payable separately by Commissioner Williams. Any other discussion?
I'll second
Commissioner Head has made the second. No other discussion. All those in favor of doing the accounts payable separately and approving them, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on, number 4, action agenda. Discuss pre-ordering / purchasing sheriff's office patrol vehicles. Sheriff Hammond, you want to come up to the mic or?
Like I said, about last week, I believe you did some information. I believe you-
Yes, I'll start things off. I did call Paul from TAC Legal. The question that arose last week, commissioners, to refresh your memory. There's such a long lead time in ordering these vehicles, maybe 6 months, 9 months. And the question was asked, we do this in this budget or next budget, but we don't have approval. I talked to Paul from TAC Legal last week, week before, and he said he's heard this several times. And his opinion, it's okay to do this, what we're doing, because he's had numerous other departments doing this or entities, county governments. So do you have anything else to add to that, Sheriff Hammonds?
Well, that being said, this is merely discussion, we will. I guess if we realize that when it's coming over, and I'll tell them they do. Bid spec or vehicle and then get the approval for pre-order, but I want to go before approving.
So Sonia, Summer and we went to a budget workshop for the budget the other day in San Angelo. And Tom Green County Auditor was there and several other auditors that we talked to. They said that they've had the same problem. And they've been doing this and allowing it, but what they're allowing is that whoever we purchase it from, that we place the order with, needs to have it as a line item in the bottom saying that if this money is not budgeted, that we're not responsible for paying for it. You gotta have your out because there's no money in that current year's budget.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So-
Don't need to obligate money.
Because it gets you.
You don't know what that.
Yeah, so as long as it has that verbiage in there saying, hey, if it's not budgeted, it's not my bad, it's the commission's fault.
No liability to the county. Actually, if the county decides next year not to budget it, and basically cancel the contract.
Yeah, but that's what the Tom Green auditor, what's his name?
His name is Nathan Craddock.
Nathan Craddock.
Auditors, also maybe the president's hat.
Yeah, so that was his recommendation. Go ahead and do it, but put that verbiage in there.
Okay.
And if y'all wouldn't mind, since y'all thought that we can get that verdict, so.
Yeah, I can call him and he says it's on theirs. I'll reach out to Nathan and get that verbiage and then I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
Cause I'm sure he'll send it to me and I'll just forward it on to you.
that's fine. And like I said, when that window opens, there'll be a big spec and I'm ready for it.
And if you're doing it in the bid, you probably put it in that bid spec too,
Yeah.
where it says that.
Right.
Now also Commissioners, Sheriff Hammond, I guess, gave us a report on the vehicle schedules that's on your desk. And Sheriff Hammond's, I see you got a 2013 that's got 181,000 miles. I guess you always get the most oldest ones, the highest mileage ones every year or every other year when you do this to trade in.
We fell behind over past budgets, so it's gonna be a more of a picture at this point.
Okay. Questions, commissioners, any comments? Sheriff Hammond, anything else you need to let us know about the pre-ordering the vehicles or anything?
So this was only a discussion item today, so we'll do it with these we put on.
Yes.
later.
Yeah, he'll have to get,
Well, I don't know when that moves. There's no point putting it on there, we know when you're ready.
And we don't know when that window's gonna be, correct?
Well, we'll have enough lead time to do it once they announce it, so that would be an issue.
Okay,
As soon as they announce it, I'll bring it.
we'll bring it to the court once you hear. Okay, any other discussion on this item, gentlemen?
Did we lose the vehicle last week? Or
I would say it's that,
have a sense of it?
because one was totaled and the other one was hit by the suspect when the. Saying seven hit the suspect and didn't use their car.
Hmm,
Now they're sitting in the county jail.
glad no one was injured. Okay, any other questions for Sheriff Hammond?
seeing my uncle in his underwear. And nobody was injured.
You'll have
Except for seeing my uncle in his underwear, nobody was injured.
Okay,
Board was looking at those, and y'all entered the wrong ring.
okay. Any other questions on that matter? Moving on to number 5, consider and act on purchasing equipment for precincts and road and bridge. Who wants to take this?
Yeah, go for it.
Commissioner Parton, go ahead.
We had a workshop last Thursday. And we've been looking at some used belly dumps. Our opinion is they're too close to new prices. Everybody's asking around 30,000 for used belly dumps that are 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. New one from Brazos Trailers is 34,850 plus $400, about 35,250. So about $5,000 difference for new tires, all new, as compared to one that you don't know anything about. And then we found a ground load trailer for all the precincts to use. It's 45,000. Guy has no give on it, plus 2,500 to put a pony motor on it, so it's 47,500. Between the two, I think we've got 19,725 left in equipment money. And I guess our decision today is whether each precinct wants to pull out somewhere in the neighborhood of 15,687.50 to 16,000, 15,500, 16,000 out of each one of their equipment budgets to go ahead and get these two pieces of equipment.
Is it belly down? What was the other thing?
Ground load haul trailer. The equipment's expensive, but the equipment also is not out there.
The other side of that, this equipment that we purchased will last for many, many, many years. Long after we're commissioning up here's over with, so. A little different than an actual vehicle itself. These trailers could last, what, 30 years?
Yeah, it makes sense with the new.
But it just depends, we've got, what you're saying is the road and bridge equipment line item has 19,000, that what you said, 19,725. So we throw that money at it, and then everybody else has to take money out of their own personal line items.
It's everybody has a pretty hefty equipment. What do we call it, balance, but it just depends on whether everybody's wanting to go this direction, or keep looking, or something I've been talking about, pickup trucks out in their line, most of them have 50. I don't even know that a guy can buy a new pickup for 50 grand anymore. But, the whole deal on this is, we bought this truck that's sitting out there, it really needs something behind it. Everybody needs, or I think everybody needs to be hauling dirt. So to me, it's either kind of bite the bullet and get it done or not. Do we have any discussion?
I feel like you agreed 100% we need to buy new instead of old stuff on the belly, not a problem, but I don't have a problem with it.
So the extra trailer that we have, and we want to sell that, correct, guys, and get rid of it because it can't be used.
That's one. that's purchased.
Yes, can we turn around and put that money, divide it, I mean, it come out of road and bridge equipment. Can we put that money of the sale of that vehicle back in that road and bridge equipment line item?
This fiscal year, as long as you do it in this fiscal year.
Okay,
And the trailer you're talking about, man, that's one that you purchased from the,
From the co-op, yes.
and we feel like it will bring a better price than what
Yeah.
was paid for to start with.
We gave 10 for that trailer, actually, by looking at trailers. Jason says 15, I say 20, it's a pretty nice trailer. It's worth, if you look on the phone, this equipment's pretty expensive. Even y'all's spindle hitch trailers that everybody has. And they're probably not gonna need, those things are running from $7,500 to $12,000. Equipment's high.
Of course, it's not on here for necessarily for doing this, but we would want, do we want, what option do we want to reach out to,
I got the deal back from the lady from TAC. I know just about as much now after reading it as I did before. As far as how you can actually sell stuff.
okay,
It don't really, it's a bunch of quotations, basically. Basically, it pretty well says that you have to find public auction. Or they do have, TAC has a selling deal for counties. But Jason looked up and only up there's 2 pieces of equipment in the whole state of Texas. For sale on it, so I wouldn't think that's a big marketing area.
okay. Commissioner Head, any comments?
No, we pretty much. I don't have an issue with it.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we buy the 2 pieces of equipment in the precinct. Divvy up the excess.
okay,
out of there.
okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion's been made by Commissioner Parton about the purchasing equipment for precincts and road and bridge. Second's been made by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion, commissioners? Yes.
Not clear on funding. You're gonna take the rest of road and bridge equipment, you want to apply that first. And then the rest of the, leftover is divided by 4%. That way.
Equally.
Yes.
If it's not equal, he gets the extra dollar since he's making the motion.
Not a penny more, not a penny less.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 6, consider and act on updating Mills County Road Access Policy. Commissioner Williams, you want to?
Yeah, so this was
Lay
in the
down.
last one, I think that in your packet today, we tabled this, but in your packet today, it's the current one, not the one that I corrected. The corrected one we all had last week, so only in your packet is the current one, so you're last week, in last commissioner's court was the proposed one. So if you didn't bring that, then we pass this one down so you can look at the proposed policy and the changes. But y'all wanted time to go back and read this and examine it, so. And this come from a workshop that was last month.
I thought we took existing entrances out.
I'm saying this is the current one, Robert.
Oh, okay, this.
The current one, yes.
Okay,
The one that's in your packet is the current one.
oh, okay,
Last commissioner's report, I gave you the
That's all.
yeah.
recommended one
Yeah,
that y'all wanted to do.
okay,
And so it was basically third page on the recommended was on the installation line, was the main corrections. And is where we went in and broke that up into more divided and make it, we put a standard of 30-foot culvert. The request is that the county commission of the precinct will do all the examining and make the recommendations, whether they can do it or not do it. The price of the installation is subject to change. A contractor's list will be maintained by the commissioner's court.
Okay, let's talk about the contract. Who's gonna be on the list?
I don't know. Contractor's list maintained by commission. I said commissioner's court, but maintained by the commissioner.
You gotta have, I mean, I think the contractor, approved contractor list is certainly fine and probably a good idea. But you gotta have some criteria on decide who's on the list and who's not. And if somebody that's not on the list, there needs to be an expedited process for that person getting on the list. And the person needs to know how to get on the list. I mean, you can have requirements like insurance, bonded, years of experience, et cetera. But you can't just say, oh, we got a list and we're gonna pick out who we want on the list. You can't do that. So if you're gonna have a list, you gotta know how you get them.
So again, that list was on the original, so that fixing that will need to be on this, we'll need to fix it on this second one too.
I
So
mean, you can have a list maintained in the judge's office. I think that's fine, an approved list of contractors. But if somebody wants to hire somebody, some third party contractor, and say, well, how do I get on the list? You gotta tell them how to get on the list. You gotta come up with some sort of standard of how to do that. Like I said, I mean,
does it need, is that a separate agenda item to take that up as a
no,
list?
no,
Or can I,
you can't pass a resolution that says we're gonna have a list and not have any idea how to get on the list for the list comes. Because I mean, a contractor is a contractor. You may pass it, and you may have somebody come in here tomorrow and say, well, there's my contractor. You know, how do I get him on the list?
Even the local contractor has a, I mean,
when we make that list about to get on there, we're gonna have local contractors that are not gonna wanna be on it, because they ain't bothered. If you, but as you put that one of the criteria.
sound like a discussion matter later on, when you keep working on
I think
this.
you need to work on.
Yeah, I think we need to work on it.
I think that's we're making a transition here, going from county equipment, the county employees installing these culverts, going to third party contractors. These guys are doing work on your right of way. We're doing, basically, you're not paying for it, but they're doing work for you. And so you gotta know, if you're gonna say, well, you've gotta be on the list, you gotta know how you get on the list. And it needs to be some ascertainable standards on how you get on the list.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think the commissioner's court has to vote, put somebody on the list. I think the judge's office to maintain that. But both the judge and the contractors need to know what it takes to get on the list so that somebody can approve.
Do we want to do another workshop to
That's what it
discuss this?
sounds like to me.
That sounds like we need to do another workshop, gentlemen, to discuss this. I don't know what dates are good, Commissioner Williams.
I don't know, I have to just get back with you. I don't-
Yeah, I would propose we table this item for a future date after possibly a workshop.
Second,
Okay. I made a motion to table this item on the Mills County Road Access Policy to be determined at a later date. Commissioner Williams has seconded this. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. All right. Number 7, consider an act on going out for bids for EMS service, and we have Ms. Patricia Graham wants to come speak before we start discussing this item. Ms. Graham, please come to the microphone.
Well, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you today. So in the paper last week, we had Judge Johnson's report talking about how we want the best results when we do our search this time for EMS service. Of course, all of us want that. And I'm just suggesting, I'm not a lawyer, as you know, and so, just take that into consideration because I'm sure you understand things a lot better than I do. But from my point of view, there's some things that I think our contract that we have in place right now that needs to be addressed. And one of the things that is concerning to me is any time that in there that says only or always or never, all those things really limit what we can actually do for the best of our citizens. So for instance, we have section 1321 that states that Hamilton EMS service will decide about airlift service. Okay. And of course, they're going to recommend their vehicles for all of that situation, but just suggesting that that's maybe not always appropriate and it's restrictive. And when you look at section 1319, the way it reads about ground-based ambulance service, it says Hamilton County EMS shall be the only ground-based ambulance provider allowed to be dispatched by the county, and then except in cases of emergency or non-availability. So I'm just recommending this language like that is applied also to the airlift service whenever we rewrite our contract. I think that the words that come to my mind are closest, available, and appropriate. And by that, I know that there's things about helicopters that there are certain qualifications might be needed in a certain circumstance. So you can't really quantify appropriate, but I suggest that the sheriff's office and the EMS personnel on the scene, they can assess really together what is really appropriate then, and depending on the circumstances. And then at the last meeting, the sheriff requested that he be involved in the process of selecting the new EMS provider because he wants to ensure that there will be a good working relationship with the director. So I think that that's an imperative that we really have to consider. He's come many times before this court and said that there's a breakdown in communication. And if he says there's a problem, there must be a problem. So I think we need to listen to that and have input into things. I don't know how to structure it, but just so that there's good working relationships, because when there's disunity, it doesn't help anyone. And it's not good for anyone. Of course, we know that Hamilton County, according to section 1318, says that Hamilton County EMS will appoint the EMS director. But that's where I think that in the future, we would want the county input on this too. If there's a problem, it needs to be taken care of. As it is, it's been a sore festering wound and it's been going on for at least as long as I've been coming to these meetings. 1 minute. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to say is that that's just some suggestions, but I'm just recommending that we instead of talking about, well, you're not dispatching, well, we're going to sue and all of that, I just say, no, we're going to write a new contract in a couple of months. Let's address all those problems then. And that way, we can have, the unity that we need to work between our different county, agencies, let's say. And, last year I gave everybody, a little piece of this dirt, and it is a little bit of all 254 counties in Texas, 50 states and Israel. And I just use that as an illustration of how, we're really part of something bigger than ourselves here in this county, but it depends on us working together. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Graham. Okay. Commissioners got a proposal for a bid package, RFP, and which I've been working on for several weeks. And there's a lot of things that would address Ms. Graham's issues, I think, in this. First thing, I don't want to go through the whole contract. I know y'all have all read it, but there are some important dates, which you can turn to the third page. Sorry, these numbers weren't numbered. You see these dates. Issue RFP, assuming it's approved by Commissioner's Court. That's today's date, April the 10th. Proposals due May 12th. There's a committee review. I'm further back. I'll discuss this proposed committee. Which you see, time is the essence, because I think the date is June the 2nd, which is 120 days before the contract ends in September 30th. That if we don't do anything, it automatically renews Hamilton County EMS. So that's why time is of the essence. But we also have to put 3 notices in the paper, which we'll do, assuming it's approved in Commissioner's Court today. So I was wanting to show all these dates to everybody. And that will still give us, assuming this is approved, we still have time for a week, 10 days to go through all the bids on this proposal. Now, also on the back page, you'll see that I was proposing a selection committee, which would be 7 to 8 people. Mills County Judge, a county commissioner, 1 member of the medical community, 1 member from STAR, 1 member from Pretty Community, 1 member from Mullen, and then 1 to 2 at-large people. So again, I want this to be very transparent. We all want the best medical service we can get, ambulance service for Mills County. And I don't know how many other companies would be out there bidding, but that's the purpose for doing this RFP. So questions, discussion, gentlemen?
What I have on it doesn't say anything on here about us supplying the building.
Well, that's why we're here discussing it. I didn't put anything on that.
So you said they have to have equipment, they have to have clinicals and personnel, but I would think that we need to have in this RFP that we have the building that needs to be in there, but I don't know how it needs to be worded.
Okay,
Because if I was looking at this, it looks like they have to have the building themselves and their own station.
okay,
And yet we're spending a lot of money to build a station, so that's not in here.
Okay.
The next one I've got it, since they're not numbered, I don't know what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Under clinical, I think it's page 7, the contractor will provide at all times agreement that provides for a medical director, medical control, and medical protocols. Right now, that medical director,
what page is that?
I think it's page 7, clinical. Under clinical. Are
Okay,
we changing our medical director? Is that what that's stating?
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Let's do it.
What it says clinical.
Clinical. Medical director, medical control, medical protocols.
Because see, I think even when we had our own EMS, we had a medical director. And then that medical director retired. And we still had our own EMS that the county was doing. And we picked up Dr. Rudolph out of Hamilton Hospital District is our medical director. And then he's been remained as our medical director for Mills County. I don't know the rules or regulations in that, but are we saying that they've got to have their own medical director? Or is the county doing away with our medical director?
Good
Because
question.
That was an agenda item that we voted on and passed in court years ago. I don't know. I mean, that would be something that, I mean, it's in this contract that we're looking at, so.
You really need a medical director assigned to the county. I think when I first got here, I think Dr. Pretzer was the medical
I
director.
think she might have been, yeah, I think, and there was a man somewhere. With
Yeah, that was
Peter.
Dr. Pretzer, and then Dr. Pretzer, and then the county approved Dr. Rudolph. So it really needs to be an approval process, kind of like the assigning people on the tax board and stuff like that. So you need to declare a medical director, more especially for the jail commission. This medical director is coming through and certify the calorie intakes of meals and stuff like that, and reading the inspection.
See, I knew there was something else on here, but I don't know if we're saying that this EMS should be the medical director. I don't know how that
The
works.
medical director has to be a doctor.
Does Rudolph still come to Mills County or is he just in Hamilton County?
He does a clinic here anymore, and,
Well, it doesn't, I don't think they have to be a doctor in the county. You could get a doctor from Houston to be your medical
Okay.
director.
Yeah.
Right? Am I correct on that?
yeah, he can still, it doesn't have to be a doctor resident of this county.
Yeah. I just know,
Well, have one representative.
Okay,
so that one was kind of a red flag there. I don't know if that we want to do that necessarily.
It would probably be a good idea to approach Dr. Rudolph, if he's still interested.
Yes.
If not, I need to find someone else to fill that slot.
okay.
Uh,
Anything else, Commissioner Williams?
Oh, yeah, I got several questions from this. On personnel, right before clinicals, it says different levels of approval. The EMS has had different levels of life support. Are there more than one levels of training? I think if we're gonna, I mean, and
Well, there's,
what is that level? What is that level? Do we need to put that in there? Do we?
well, they had 4 levels shown there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that what you're talking about?
Where are you putting 1, 2, 3, 4?
Oh, was that on this? Maybe was that in our contracts?
That must be in our contract.
That's in our
It's not in-
contract then.
It's not in this RFP. Never, but to me, if we're gonna do, huh? Well, and maybe when we do the approval process, we go through there and say, well, they have so many here and so many there. I don't know. I didn't know if it needed to be listed on this RFP. I mean, if everybody just comes in, they've got basic EMT training, then that.
I know Hamilton County offers a level 4 right now, EMS.
Yeah, so we have a lot
Yeah.
compared to what, I mean, another company, so I don't know, I mean, maybe we need to have that listed, what levels they're talking about. I mean, that's just general, that's just a general statement, levels,
Okay,
I don't know. Maybe it's based on what we have currently, I mean,
okay.
maybe that's what's stuck in my head, I don't know,
Okay,
From a cost standpoint, I think we know what periods, but it doesn't say will the cost of your service stay the same for the 4 years, or what's your projected cost for them? Will it increase every year, or is it going to be?
yeah, I got that written down too.
I think that's something we need to know for a year, 5 years, how it's
well, I think most of these, they don't want 3 years, it's too soon, I think they all want a minimum 4 years. Yeah, well, I figured that'd be in the bid proposal, if a XYZ company comes in and says, we'll do this.
If you don't put it in this proposal, they don't have to present it.
Okay, Okay,
And if you do like, please. Current level, it's my understanding, is can use that on current level here.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but I don't say we have to put,
Right.
we need 10 of the best. Because we don't, that's making it specific, but maybe you need to say at least one of each one, a minimum of one of each one or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't, I've never done one of these before, so
yeah.
Standard
yes,
for exceeding.
there you go. And that's back to what Ms. Graham is saying on her comment. Let's, what she said, what was she saying?
Well,
Close, it's available, appropriate. That's the word she used.
we want this RFP to be done properly. Y'all brought some good questions and comments. And what I'm hearing, we need to, everybody get back together on this. And Commissioner Williams, I think we might need to do a workshop or something, you and me or whoever else. To come up.
Well, I'm just one. I mean, I'm not the one writing this. I'm just the one reading. I'm gonna put my name on it. I want to make sure that we're all.
Well, that's why I'm saying, we got some more work to do on this.
What was something else?
Why don't we have workshop? Pretty quick.
Yeah, we need to do this pretty quick.
And under this, it says what? The way maybe I'm reading this wrong, but Sheriff, have you read this? Have you looked at this? Okay. It's talking about dispatch, and the way this reads is that this RFP is all, is responsible for getting their own dispatch. Whether they do an interlocal agreement with us or they get their own. Is that what I'm reading? Is that how it's stated?
What page is that, Jason?
Huh?
Where is that?
Page 6 or something like that. It's under communications and dispatch. I'm just making sure that we're all on the same page.
We sent out, did Jackie send it to, did she get a copy?
I got it.
Oh.
I got a copy on Friday or Thursday for the packets, commissioner's packet, but I didn't get it pre Thursday.
Friday was a holiday, so it was done on Thursdays when this was finished up, and Sheriff Hammond, my apologies, we didn't get one out to you. But what I'm hearing, I think we need to not make any decisions right now. And Commissioner Williams got some good comments. I think we need to table this and approach this as soon as we can, especially with Dr. Rudolph to verify him as possible medical director. Commissioner Williams, you're looking at your calendar, you got some possible dates. And again, time is of the essence, as I stated earlier, just because of our deadline, June the 2nd. And again, I got to stress, we got to put 3 notices in our local paper. Do you see a possible date that might work?
Well, I mean, I got this week.
Well, I think it needs to be this
For
week.
me, I'm gonna be out several days next week, but
I think it needs to be this week. Thursday work?
can we do it Thursday? Got enough time?
Be at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, Thursday, it had to be Thursday at 1,
We got probate in here at 1:30, but we could do it,
so it'd have to be Friday.
well, we do it maybe 11 or something. Or 10. 11 o'clock.
But what if we're not done time you have probate?
Okay, well, probate's 1:30.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how long probate takes.
It shouldn't take long at all. We can do 2 o'clock. Probate won't take long. How about 2 o'clock Thursday? Yeah, this would take a while. I agree, but the probate shouldn't take long.
2
Okay.
o'clock.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion that we table this, considering not going out for bids for EMS service until Thursday at 2.
Can't tell you what, that's just a workshop.
Well, I mean, yeah,
So we'll have to have another call unless you're gonna want to have a commissioner's court meeting on. Because a workshop, you can't make any decisions on. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Workshop, or you're having a
Special meeting.
Because if you're wanting to vote on it, you're gonna have to have a regular meeting.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to be a regular meeting.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, but it has to be a commissioner's court meeting, is what I'm saying. It has, yeah,
It can't be a workshop.
it can't be a
Yeah.
workshop. So what are you wanting?
Well, I'll make a motion. I think it's good we get going on this as soon as possible. Again, due to the time constraints with the 3 postings in the paper and everything we need to do.
So we're calling a call commissioner's court. on
Yes, I
Thursday.
think that'd be good. A call commissioners court meeting Thursday, what's that date? April 13th at 2 p.m. Does that look good, everybody's schedule? 2 p.m. Okay. Okay, so,
Special commissioner meeting.
yeah,
Correct.
now how do we need to act on number 7 right now? That we're discussing? Yeah, I made a motion to table this.
I second the motion to table agenda item number 7.
Okay. We'll do a motion. I'll do a motion to table number 7 for Commissioners Court special meeting Thursday at 2 p.m. Commissioner Williams has seconded. Any other discussion, gentlemen? Okay, all those in favor of tabling this till Thursday at 2 p.m., say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. And do we need to go ahead and, that's all we need to do on that deal? Okay. That takes care of number 7. We're ready for number 8. Consider an act on declaring 12-foot roll-up garage door as salvage. Who's that's Commissioner Head. Commissioner Head, go ahead, sir.
It's just an old door, it's not used, it's just in the way, so. I want to get rid of it.
And this was a door out your precinct barn?
Make a motion that we have a 12-foot roll-up door garage as salvage.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Wright.
Second.
Second's been made by Commissioner Williams. Any other discussion? All those in favor of declaring the 12-foot roll-up garage door as salvage, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Ayes have it.
Yeah.
Well, salvage is listed as salvage.
That's you. He's got to declare it 2 weeks in the newspaper.
Oh, wait a minute, I was wanting to just take it. Did I word it wrong?
Up to y'all.
I thought surplus was,
No, salvage was fine.
salvage goes to
You
record.
there's another step to it. You got to sell it too.
Mhm.
So,
I wanted to
Scrap it.
scrap it.
Okay. Can we, did we already vote on this?
I'll put it back on there then.
Can we,
is this something that somebody could use? Can you sell it?
Trash. I mean, it's junk iron, yeah.
So it's not something that you think's worthwhile to try to take down the cowboy and sell?
No, it's in pieces.
so it's not surplus or salvage, it'll be scrap.
Well, then what you need to do is to declare it salvage, you declare it scrap.
Okay.
Is it?
I thought scrap went into the trash dump. But I'm gonna, it's metal, so I was just gonna take it to the scrap yard.
Well, that's salvage. So,
That's why I declared it salvage.
yeah.
Okay, so salvage is
Sounds
what?
like something is correct. But the court needs to approve the title too.
Oh,
Once you declare it, you have to declare how you're getting rid of it.
okay.
Okay,
My
so
mistake.
you might go ahead and declare that again. Can we do a redo on that, Ms. Sonia, or? County Attorney, how do you propose we approach this after we already went through the motion, the second?
Well, we can put it on the next agenda.
Okay,
It's not going anywhere. It's been sitting there for how long?
Yeah, and I'm not jumping at the bit to get rid of it today. I mean, it's just,
okay,
it's just,
Hurt it, sit there for a couple more weeks.
no, it don't hurt.
so we can,
Something you trip over and I was just like, well, I'm gonna just get rid of it.
put this on the next agenda and
So,
to sell in either Thursday or in 2 weeks.
So scrap is.
I say where it's still at.
surplus is sale that can still be used. Yeah.
Okay,
I was just trying to make sure I worded it right on the side.
you worded it right. Okay, everything we need to do on this, correct? Moving on. Okay, moving on, number 9, Robert, remember to put that back on in 2 weeks whenever, okay? Number 9, consider an act on new EMS building. Mr. Guy Burns, you want to come up here or you have any updates that we need to know about? Oh, there is one thing I will, before we get up here, they're in your package, commissioners, there's a Central Texas communication form that needs to be filled out. And it's asking for authorized representatives who can contact or talk to Central Texas in case of any emergencies or questions they have. They needed 3 individuals. And I was going to propose on that list that it'd be Guy Burns, myself, and Jackie Brooks as the authorized representatives for Central Texas. No. This is regarding the fiber optic going to the new EMS building. Well, this is reference to that.
No. So
Okay.
this, yeah, if you read this, this is for applications for internet service.
Yeah, internet service.
We're not,
That's not what
the
we said.
Okay.
EMS people will have the application for the internet service.
I can address that.
Okay.
Guy, go ahead.
So contacted CTTC. They're gonna lay in the pipe, the conduit, and they're gonna run fiber to the building. It's not gonna cost the county anything. It will be up to whoever EMS, whoever it is, Hamilton or whoever, it will be up to them to get the service turned on. So it's like $150 fee anyhow. So whatever application they sent, that's, it
Don't
does
worry
not
about it.
apply to us.
Okay,
As it stands right now, CTTC, for the contacts that we have for this building, it is you, myself, and Jackie.
okay, sorry, Guy, I missed that when we visited earlier. Okay, sorry about that.
Well, I should have brought that to you.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's the only updates I have. Also, I went ahead and okay, the ceiling tile and lights, 2-foot ceiling tile and lights, which were all part of the package. We decided to go with that to the 4-foot because it's better support and eventually 4-foot static on it. And the pricing of those things.
okay. And we did do a walkthrough last week. Everything's looking good in there.
Yeah, we did a walkthrough. We talked about the landscaping. And Terrell Harris is going to put together a proposal. We talked about doing 5-foot sidewalk all the way around concrete parking lot. And the only part that will actually be landscaped is the north end, where we'll put a curb in, possibly a flagpole and sign. He's going to bring a proposal up for the commissioner's court to look at.
Again, on that walkthrough, that is not a part of the original, so, you know.
Yeah, that's not part of the original package.
That will be all extra.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Burns?
Not really pertaining to that, but I assume with it set up like it is, and we had talked before we started building about the possibility on that north end of having a water spout, so we didn't have to go to the city of Gulfway to get water. Now, I understand that would have to be a separate meter, because whoever EMS is gonna be paying the water. But we, you know, you're talking about the distance there, landscaping, that could be a bad area with water spout for filling trucks up. There, I mean, we can discuss
Okay.
that. It really wouldn't be, it wouldn't be part of the CARES Act bill. It'd have to be something.
No,
like
it
that.
would also, there at the end of the building, where the 3 drains are in the bays, we've got it stubbed out there, but we're gonna have to, we, county is gonna have to figure out a way to put in a baffle system, that's sort of a catch system, because the water that comes out of there, out of that drain cannot go into the city without going through some sort of filtration system. So that's gonna occupy some of that part right there too. So, yeah,
You know, there's not a lot of room there, and I don't know if it'd even be feasible or not. We had talked about that from the start, because, I mean, getting water from the city is fine, it worked well. But even with what they got, their lines are choked down to go into the EMS, and what we would be needing would be full force.
there's, yeah, but there's a 6-inch line that runs parallel with the building, which goes all the way to that road.
Okay,
So we could still set up across from there on that. And coming off the backside on the west side of the EMS building, we're gonna have to have at least a 30-foot apron concrete before it turns into road base, whatever you're gonna put down on that. So you still have that area that you can tap into that 6-inch line and set up over there. It'll be clear to the EMS and not have anything to do with their water meter.
yeah, I don't know what water would even end up. We pay $20 a load, and that's up to 2,500 gallons. We don't have the capacity, so usually you're paying $20 for 1,600 gallons, but you have to leave them your driver's license, get the key. I can see over a long time span that for the whole county doing it, it can pay for a water meter and everything that we need. Yeah.
Well, it's city water going back to the properties. We should really do something out in the city and set up a water station. Without being anywhere involved with the EMS water. That's all I've got on that.
Will that have to include what you're asking about, will that have to include a meter? Or that
I'm sure it
yeah. Separate from the EMS building itself?
Yeah.
Well, the 6-inch line that runs down there, they've already run a tap and it has its own meter off to the side. So that 6-inch line is,
Still going.
yeah, still going. You can put as many taps on that.
So it won't be a problem, hook up.
No,
Yeah,
it won't be a
okay.
problem.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Burns? Guy, thank you. Number 10, Commissioners' requests and reports. Commissioner Wright?
We installed a couple of 10 horns on County Road 330 and 327, request material, put it on County Road 505, you'll have a chance to drive down and look at it. The city had some pretty new buildings from the elementary building, and they tore that pavement out, so we used it. Still don't, I haven't heard anything from TxDOT on when they're gonna deliver equipment. I don't know if you've heard anything yet.
No, sir. Are you talking about the asphalt millings or what are you talking about?
We're talking about material.
Yeah, I have not heard anything from TxDOT in the last 2 weeks.
Okay, because they were gonna deliver it first.
Yes, I've not heard any news yet.
Okay, and a new road hand starts April the 7th, and that's all I have.
Well, good. Okay, Commissioner Head?
We had a couple of roads that just nothing but rub boards, 232 and 230. So we ripped them up and ground about 2.5 miles of road. Ripped down pretty deep and kind of rolled the road over. We finished hauling on 249 and got all that grounded and started widening out. When wind turbine people came in and topped their top, whatever the final top, they made the road that goes up on 320, 332 was pretty narrow. And I got lots of trucks going up and down, so we're kind of widening it out a little bit, so that way, if you do meet somebody, they can at least pass each other right at the moment. If you met you went into ditch, it'd be a bad day for you. And we got a little rain out there at Moline, roughly around 1 inch. So back in that area, we bladed 342, 348, 339 back in there, and just working where we can.
Okay. Commissioner Parton?
We've been blading some roads, we finally knocked off of it, it's just too dry. Dusty's gonna start hauling this morning on County Road 112. Probably hauling about a mile there. And so that's about what we got going.
Okay, thanks. Commissioner Williams.
Yeah, we've been working on County Road, 550 out toward the end of the precinct and toward Brown County line. I've been hauling a lot of rock, and just wind rolling it down the roads. Very interested in the rock crusher when it's available. When the next month or whatever it may be. Also, again, we attended a budget workshop, which is kind of interesting. There's some things that have changed on that, so. And the legislator right now is trying to change more, so.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting budget cycle this year. Let's see here, and then, I guess that's it.
Okay,
Jason, on the talk about the rock crusher itself, we'll try to have it finished at the end of the month.
That's what I'm saying. I just want to put my name in to get it whenever. I knew you were using it this month. I knew it would, so.
okay, number 11, county judge's report. I'm just going to remind all the commissioners court that the deadline for the RFP on security cameras is due April 21st, 2 p.m. So Sheriff Hammonds, I guess you're still hearing some folks on security cameras around.
Yeah, all the walkthrough for places that deadline up, there was, 5 interested parties, 2 of which got qualified. And, we will get that.
Okay. And only other news I have is Miss Haley Ragsdale is in court today. If y'all hadn't met her yet, she is the new TDEM, which is the Texas Department of Emergency Management Liaison Person. Am I correct on all that? And for Mills and some of Hamilton County too. And she's currently, I don't know if it's temporarily or what, in the commissioner's courtroom downstairs in the basement. So I took around most everybody in the courthouse last week. So we welcome Haley. If there's anything we can help you with, let us know. She'll be helping myself and Sheriff Hammonds out and all this paperwork we have to fill out. Anything else I need to add? Well, welcome to Mills County. So, and that's all I have.
Hopefully done.
Second.
Motion been made by Commissioner Wright to adjourn, a second by Commissioner Williams. All those in favor